What's up, fashion people? How are you? How is the lockdown taking you in the country and even outside the country? So today we're having a very interesting topic, and we're going to be talking about the reason as to why barbers fail in Africa. But before that, I'll first go and cut off this mess, but we can go together. I can take you through it also. See you after the haircut. Yeah, this barbershop I went to is called Ops Barbershop, and it's in Nankulabi, and you can't believe that they cut hair at only $3 plus all the extra services. And actually, the most shocking part is that this barbershop is among the barbershops that charge highly in this very place. Yeah, so I think we can really say it's cheap. But then I would like to tell all my barbers, please focus on the haircut first, because really I never liked my hair lining. And they say every Monday a haircut is at only $1.5, all the extra services included. Wow, this is wonderful. Yeah, apart from that, I can say I appreciate all your services. You're really good. And for that price, you really do a lot. And I can say you're really one of the most underrated barbershops around that place, and people should visit. So going back to our topic of the day, and we're going to be discussing about the reasons as to why African barbers fail, or most of the African barbers that go in this industry end up failing. Yeah, so before we go to our very first reason, I would like to make this thing clear. I always say African barbers because I want to be sure of what I'm talking about. This is where I've worked from for some years, and this is where I live. I may be knowing something about those barbers abroad, but then I'm not very sure about it. I just view their video on YouTube, their pictures, and something like that. And everything I'm going to be saying is going to be according to me, according to my experience, of which if you have a different view, you can maybe share in the comment section and we talk about it. The good thing, we are all open to learn. So our very first reason is having a very wrong motivation at the start. As you all know, among the jobs in Africa that require no qualification, you find there barbering, you find there cutting hair. Anyone can join at any time. And you find that most of the barbers doing this in Africa were motivated by that fact that this industry in Africa requires no qualification to join. And trust me, if you're not motivated by passion or love for this industry, there's failure waiting for you ahead. Yeah, actually, that's the fact, man. Because you find out there so many barbers, if they're trying to tell you their story, they join this thing because they were broke and they had no other option to do. And those are the ones you find fail. So it either has to be love and passion or nothing. So if it's none of that, please just know you're going towards failure, and it's not a theory, it's a promise. I'm assuring you this will happen. So going to our second reason as to why most of barbers out there fail, or even all of them, is because they are not open to learning. They don't want to learn, they just want to stay backward, like old fashioned. They don't know that new things are coming to the industry. They don't want to take that time to put their brains down and learn. What do I mean by this? You find a barber being there without knowing new trending haircuts, barber terminologies. Actually, on the point of barber terminologies, in Uganda here, the country I stay in, if you go to most of the barbershops out there, you'll find that this haircut, and this one are all called 3 layers. What do you mean by 3 layers? Try to be specific. A customer might come. When he wants this one, he ends up getting this one. Or he wants this one, he ends up getting this one. So please try to learn, put your time down and start learning. because there are a lot of things happening. There are new things, actually a lot of new things happening today in the barber industry. You can't just stick on the old-fashioned haircuts and terminology. Yeah, just know, man, you should always be open to learning. No one is perfect. Actually, most of the great barbers you find out there, you find that there are people that are open to learning. And if you don't have that character as you, then man, you're doing the wrong thing. Going to our third reason as to why most of the barbers outside there are failing. And this is because they don't go ahead and build relationships with shops around. Man, what you have to know as a barber, if there's a shop around, maybe you're working from here and you have neighbors of hairdressers or even makeup artists around, please don't try to compete with everyone. Go and introduce yourself to them. You never know, someday they may be working on someone that may also need your services, and that's where they will introduce you to those people, and that's how you build your clientele. One thing you have to know, man, you should not always be putting competition in front of collaboration. Collaboration always wins. So man, what you should know, man, the competition is you yourself. If you wake up someday and feel like, man, I'm not doing enough, then that's the competition. You should work until you're starting to feel like, man, I'm now doing enough. There you know you're good to go. But try to stop this thing of competing with everyone around. Go on, build relationships all over the town, build relationships all over the place. Every person you meet, actually, every person you work upon, build a certain level of relationship with that person, and you'll see success coming your way. So, without wasting much of our time, I think we can go to the fourth reason as to why most of African barbers are failing today. And I can say the fourth reason is because most of them want to go straight to ownership. Or if I can say, most of them go straight to ownership. This is a mistake that I also did. Like, I myself did it when I finished my high school. I wanted to enter in this thing of cutting hair, and I went straight to ownership. I opened straight my barbershop, thinking that that's when I'll be free, that's how I'll be making my own income, every income will be mine. But then that mentality is very wrong, and up to now I still regret that decision that I made. So you find many barbers, just after learning something small, the basics of cutting hair, they don't take that time of looking for a good barbershop that has been running for some good years, or a good barber to teach them how to run a barbershop. And actually, not only teaching you, but then you have to also get employed in a barbershop for at least a period of 6 months or 8 months for you to understand how things go, how things work. I'm talking about this because actually in my country, the country I stay in, Uganda, there are now so many barbershops. You walk from a small distance to a small distance, you find a barbershop. From a small distance to a small distance, you find another. So there are very many. But if you try to see their rate of success, it's very low. And the time most of them take to succeed, the time is so much. Like, it's too much. They take too much time to succeed. They take years to succeed. And why does this happen? Because the owners of these shops ran straight to ownership. They just wanted to own. They never took the time of learning how to operate a barbershop, how a barbershop is meant to be operated. And please trust me, man, you need to learn about that. So I know it's so sweet and there's that pride it gives to be called the owner of something. But then, man, it's not something you just jump into. It takes a process to reach there. And trust me, you need that process if you don't want to be caught up by failure. So without wasting much time with this, let's go to our fifth reason as to why most of African barbers are failing today. And I can say the fifth reason is because of having a poor customer service. And I know if you've been in this industry, you know what I'm meaning. If you're really a barber, you should be having the best customer service around. Like the barber shop I went to today, man. When someone enters the shop, please make sure you greet the person. Show the person some love. Be like, good morning, sir, good afternoon, sir. How has been your day? If the customer is having a bag or even a coat, something like that, help him hang it, man. You don't want to trim your customer when he's all sweating. On this point, I'll not take too much time, but DL Master always says, treat your customer like a king and you'll never go broke. And that's not a theory, it's a promise. So as I'm going to my 6th point, you should also be preparing 1 point that will make up the 10th. Because I said I'm only going to give 9 points, so that point that you're going to be preparing will be the 10th, and I'll be waiting for it from the comment section. So the 6th reason as to why I think most of the barbers outside there are failing, it's because they choose the wrong people to surround themselves with. What do I mean by this? Like you're choosing a wrong circle. Man, if you're a barber that really wants to develop, why do you choose those barbers that don't want development? Those barbers that have no ambition, they're just there spending. Those barbers that actually don't want to put in some effort to develop themselves. Those are the barbers you should be creating gaps from, man. Look for those barbers, like barbers that work in very big barbershops, barbers that are already somewhere. If it means investing some money for you to get them, like to get a haircut from them, man, buy that haircut. But in the process of him cutting your hair, be like, man, I'm also a barber. How did you make it? Like, what did you do to become like this? Which tips can you give me? And trust me, man, those kind of people that are already somewhere, they know what it takes to reach there. So there's no way they'll refuse to tell you. They are always having good vibes around them, and they are always there to help you. It's just you to choose the circle, your circle, and choose the people that will be surrounding you. Yeah, guys, I hope you're preparing your 10th point, because I'm getting done with my 7th point soon, of which only 2 points to go. As my 7th point, or my 7th reason as to why those barbers failing outside there are failing, I would say most of them fail because of their bad character. They have a very bad character. And as a barber, I would really tell you to over focus on your character. You should really mind to check your character at every time. DL Master always says, barbers are English and math tutors to their kids. Barbers are fashion consultants. Barbers are counselors. Barbers are motivators. And that's true. That's very true. If you're a barber, or if you've ever tried this thing of barbering, you know what I mean. During that time of cutting someone's hair, there's a lot of things that you share. There are a lot of things that you actually talk about. So that thing of being a consultant, that thing of being a motivator really happens. And there's no one who will ever choose you to be his motivator, or by choosing you to be his barber, he's of course choosing you to be his motivator. And mostly to the parents, no parent, like never will a parent choose you to be his kid's tutor if your character is very bad. No one will ever choose you to be his fashion consultant if your character is very bad, or any consultant. Please try to check out your character and make sure it's the best, or it's going to make you lose so many opportunities and therefore failing at a certain time. Yeah, man, so you should be having this thing in mind. Your character either has to be the best or nothing else. Yeah, going to our 8th reason or point. By the way, I believe you're preparing your 10th point. Please prepare it. And the other thing is, if at this time you've not yet subscribed or liked this video, please subscribe and like the video. Or if possible, share, man. So going to our 8th point, I'll really say this is our shortest point and it's self-explanatory actually. Most of the barbers there are failing because they are not consistent, and therefore they are not reliable. One thing you should know, if you're not consistent in your work, it's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. Actually, there are many opportunities you're going to miss out because of your inconsistency. What do I mean by this? Someone may be willing to cut hair in a time of emergency, like there's some place he's trying to go in a short period of time, and he sees, man, he needs to go there when he's looking smart, when he's looking sharp. You get? But then, man, because of your inconsistency, the person will be like, man, there's a barber there. He's the nearest barber. But then, man, my time of going there, but that barber is never there. he's always closed on and off. So I might find when he's not there, and the customer will end up going to another barber that stays even far, but a barber that is what? Consistent. So man, that thing of inconsistency will make you lose very many customers. If it's possible, even the lunch, when it's lunchtime, you make sure you eat the lunch even from you take the lunch even from your place of work. You even take it from your barbershop, because that's where you work from, man. Make sure that whenever a customer feels like coming, he finds you there. So man, stay consistent. So by doing all this, I could really not forget our dear, lovely barbers outside there. The ones that think they already made it in life, the ones that think they're already there, or the ones that think they already attained their dreams. Please, I want to make this thing clear. When I was saying success, being successful does not only mean having a lot of customers or making a lot of income a day, or even having a lot of customers that pay well. Man, if you know that if you feel like you're becoming successful, try to take your success to another level. Try to learn how to manage the finance you're having. Try to learn all that, because actually most of the barbers I know that think they're already there are the ones that are spending recklessly. They're trying to put themselves to a level that they are not. They are trying to put themselves in some kind of luxurious life. Yes, they have no investment, they have no lifetime insurance or something to have their back in case of anything. Actually, there are so many barbers that can educate you about that. I believe both on YouTube and even in your respective countries. They are always barbers that are already there, that are already successful to a standard level. Try to look for those barbers. Let them educate you how to manage your money. And man, that's where you can now say you're successful completely. And among these barbers on YouTube, you can find 360 GZ, you can find Chris Bosio, you can find Get Beamed, uh, you can find DL Master, you can find Kev the Barber. And even in your countries, like even in Uganda, I know so many barbers that can educate you if you're in Uganda. It's just you to look for them and invest that time to learn. Because I'm sure these kind of people that are already somewhere, the ones that are successful to a standard level, man, they're always there to help. It's always those failures that are there keeping secrets as if it's the main key to heaven. But then, man, those ones are always there to help. So it's you to approach them and help and help yourself out. So guys, I've been talking for a very long time. It's now your time. It's now my time to hear from you, to hear your views and learn from each other. I'll be waiting for your comments in the comment section. And by this time, if you have not yet liked the video or subscribe to my channel, please like and subscribe. If possible, share. Yeah, so I believe to see you soon in the next video. Thank you.